Welcome to The Creative Influencer, where we discuss all things creative with an emphasis on influencers. The Creative Influencer is hosted by John Pfeiffer. John is an entertainment attorney in Santa Monica, California, who represents influencers and other creatives.
This is episode 12 of the fourth season of the Creative Influencer podcast. Today we interview Elise Brisco. Dr. Brisco is a health and wellness influencer who uses her background as an integrative optometrist, say that 10 times fast, and a clinical homeopath to promote holistic and healthy aging. Elise is also prepping to compete as a contestant in the Miss California United States pageant in August 2021. And will break ground as the oldest contestant in the pageant. Elise shares her wisdom and perspective as a role model for people of all ages and discusses her use of social media to empower her followers through inspiration, holistic health and wellness, self-care to embrace growing up. At the end of the interview, when we're wrapping up, I tell Elise that this is my last question. Then I tell her that I have one more question to ask and promptly forget the question. So off air I asked, when is the pageant going to take place? The answer is August 9th. Enjoy. I am joined today by Dr. Elise Brisco. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, John. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm doing well. How about you?
Fantastic.
Now you are, and we're going to get into it in a second, but you told me before we started recording that you were coming back from pageant training.
I am. I'm going to be the oldest contestant in the Miss California United States pageant this summer, which is the state that leads to Miss United States for the whole country. Yeah.
I'm going to tease with that line because I want to do a little bit of background and then I'll go right back to it.
Awesome.
Okay. So you are a health and wellness influencer, content creator, integrative ophthalmologist. Can't even.
Optometrist.
Oh, there you go. Clinical homeopath and a founder of Nearsight. Do you have any time in your day?
I do, because what I do becomes my hobby and my joy and passion. But I am very well scheduled, as you know, like down to the minute. I even schedule time out for boxing. I schedule time to be out with my son, and I schedule my sleep.
So, and we'll come to that, but I want to go back to the pageant because I cut you off. You said you were going to be the oldest contestant in which pageant?
It's the Miss California United States, and that leads to the Miss United States pageant. And have you seen the movie Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock?
Yes.
That's what this pageant system was based on.
So are you Miss Congeniality?
I feel like her because I have no idea. I've never been in a pageant before. I'm a boxer and everything else, and all of a sudden they're trying to turn me into a lady.
How, I read where you were invited to participate. How did this come about?
Well, last year I was invited to judge, and I said, why me? I have no pageant experience or in this beauty world at all. And they said, well, we love having strong, dynamic women as role models for the contestants. And I said, that I'm in. I'm all about female empowerment. And this past year, I've been just enamored and in love with this whole community. The women they're beautiful, yes, but they are strong, dynamic, and they're all about making a difference in the world, volunteerism, community service. So I've been volunteering on their platforms. They've been helping me with mine. And this year I was asked to judge again. I'm like, yes. But the pageant director called and said, Elise, actually, we were thinking about you being a contestant. And I said, no, I'm a single working mom. I grew up as a tomboy, but now one thing led to another. And this is my platform about doing your best at any age. So I'm there to inspire people of all ages that if you put in the work, there's no glass ceiling for age, even though there is in the media. I'm trying to show that there isn't.
Yes. How does the competition work? I mean, where does it start? How does it end? How do they just what's judged?
So what is judged is first and foremost is they want women and girls, because there's like really young girls too, of substance and merit. So do you have a platform, or do you have a good heart? Are you a good human being? Do you do something to make your community better? That's the first thing. They want someone who's a good ambassador for women overall and for their community, for the United States. For me, it'll be for California. And then the rest of it is similar to what you see on TV. It'll be televised. The Miss United States one will be televised. And the California one, because of COVID and whatnot, they're kind of scaling down. So we're not sure yet, but usually it's televised. And there's the swimsuit competition. There's the evening gown, and then the interview. So that's what you see. What you don't see is all the work that goes on behind it to prepare for this. And that is to be a good human being and a good citizen. So I fulfill all of that. All the stuff you see is what I'm lacking. So I'm learning how to walk in 5-inch heels. I learned how to walk one foot in front of the other, put my hip out, stick out my chest. You're doing a good job, John. You can be in it with me. But, I'm not the quintessential still. Most of the contestants are blonde and bosomy, and I'm a shorty. I'm 5'4". I'm a little Vietnamese girl from Chicago. And I'm going to put myself out there, and I win just by stepping on the stage, just representing single working moms who have to work many hours like I do, and middle-aged women, and just showing any age, just this zeal for life.
Now, is there, how there's an SAT prep book? Is there some sort of handbook or some sort of guidelines to help you prepare?
I'm working with a pageant coach, and I'm watching hours and hours of YouTube videos, because thankfully you can learn anything on YouTube, even how to stick your hip out, and how to have the sway and walk, and how to smile and flirt with your eyes. So I'm learning all that, and I'm walking around the house in these really killer shoes. And as my son and my dog make fun of me, but I'm getting better.
So now, I don't know which pageant this was, but I found I could download practice questions that you might be asked. So we're going to do a dry run for you here. Okay. If you could make an instant change to our planet, what would it be?
Understanding of all races, all religions, all ages. There's so much judgment. And if I could make a change in people's hearts and their minds, that we are all in this together, seriously, besides COVID, we really do share the same struggles as mankind, womankind, animal kind. And why not be kind to each other? And we would just lift each other up so much, and this would be a better place. And it sounds so cliche, but I truly believe that.
That's a good answer. Do you consider yourself to be a feminist?
I'm not a feminist, actually. I've done a lot of things that would make me seem like a feminist. I was the only female doctor in the NHL as the team optometrist for the Anaheim Ducks. I have been one of the only female coaches in the Little League where my son plays, and we went to the championship and we won, and we went to the regionals. So I have to tell you this quick story. I'd go out on the field, and for the rest didn't know me, they'd look at me and they'd say, "Excuse me, miss, no moms on the field." So I remember looking behind me like, oh my gosh, did one of my moms run on the field? I'm like, oh, there's no moms on the field. They're like, no, you. I said, I'm the coach. I'm supposed to be at first base. My team's at bat. So, I do a lot of things like that. I'm a boxer, but I'm really just a girly girl. Yeah.
So how did a girly girl start boxing?
I actually belong to ClassPass, and I thought, well, let me try out this new class. I love learning and experiencing new things. There's just so much in life. I want to go out and grab it all. I'd never boxed before. It was on my ClassPass. I went, and I was very intimidated because I was the only woman in the class. It's in the basement. It smells like a boxing gym. All the guys are really tough. And I got my butt kicked because it's a really hard class. But then I tend to rise up when there is something hard. I'm determined to, if somebody else can do it, I rise to the challenge. So I kept coming back and coming back. And now I'm a total boxing whore. I will box wherever I can. I love it. My coach is Brian Valoria, 4-time world championship. So he trains pros, and I'm very grateful that he took me on. And the reason he did is just because he sees my love and passion for boxing. You can see I've got my, my bag. I've got a heavy bag. I've got Bob the mannequin. I've got a floor to ceiling bag. I mean, I love boxing. It makes me feel alive.
How long have you been doing it?
Probably 5 to 6 years now.
Hey.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go back to the pageant questions. Off script. What would you say to a girl who fears she's not talented enough to participate in a pageant?
Well, I'm that girl, so I can tell you
What
that.
would you say to yourself?
I said that if someone else can do it, I can do it. And this is something that if someone with no experience, this was never on my radar to be in a beauty pageant. If I can go out and do that, then I'm hoping that I inspire other girls and women to say, she's a nobody. She went up there. She put herself out there. Yeah. So, and I also feel that God gives us different talents. So we don't all have to be the same and the same at good things. I'm good at things that you aren't good at, and you're good at things that I'm not. But that's why we need each other as a community. So there is no such thing as lacking a talent, because everybody has some gift.
It's the struggle is for most people is finding that gift.
Yeah, but inside there, we all have something. Yeah. Amazing.
What would you tell someone who has a negative view of pageants?
That I was the same way. I mean, my view of pageants was watching it on TV with my mom and thinking, oh, all they're doing is walking around in their bathing suits. Why do they make girls do this? But now that I've gotten involved, there needs to be a documentary. In fact, my pageant director is working on that, because it really is about service, platform, service to your community, citizenship. The girls there are selfless. They work so hard to help other people. Now, I have to tell you, people will listen to you and they want you to come speak to them more if you have that tiara. So my platform is, I know I look kind of like Mickey Mouse, but it's really a tiara. My platform is Vision with a Mission. Vision is such an important part of your life, and there's so many people who don't have access to vision care. So I was working with the city trying to raise donations so I can give my device Nearsight that helps people to stay connected to the world through their phone and see it and have doctor visits and even have televideo with their family because they're isolated or they're not mobile. So, the pageant is about giving to your community. And if that's what it takes, then that's what I want to do. It's just like social media. I have to do my little song and dance and tell a story in 15 to 30 seconds, but I try to cover hard-hitting facts and health information to empower people so that they can take care of themselves better. So we all have to play a game. And if the pageant is that vehicle, so be it, because it really is the vehicle for, it sounds so stupid, world peace, making the world better. That really is what it's about. And so you need to learn more about it and follow the queens and the title holders through their reign, because they are volunteering and helping people, and they have huge hearts, and they don't get paid for it. They're doing this because they love their fellow human being.
Which I have a transition question, and then we're going to get into your Instagram.
Okay.
You are currently writing an ebook called Live Your Best Life at Any Age.
Yes.
One of the themes throughout your Instagram post is ageism, and we'll get into a lot of that. But tell me about the ebook. How did this come to be?
Well, because each of my posts is like a mini blog. I spend an hour plus writing it every night and dreaming about it. I carry my phone around with me for little ideas. And I see people who are my age who have given up on life. It's like they're old, so they stop living. They come into my office with their kids and they're like they have their kids talk for them. They seem beat up, but there's still a flower inside, there's still a light inside, and I want to light that up and let people know, why do you stop living halfway? I have the other half of my life to live. So how do you do it? You have to put in the work. You can't just eat whatever you want, sit on the couch, not meditate, not sleep enough. You need to put in the work, and I have. I'm a total fitness and wellness addict, and so I share my journey with my followers, and I'm compiling it into a book. I've been asked to write a book a couple times. I said, this is the time, because an ebook's so much easier than publishing a book. So I'm putting it out as an ebook. And what I did is I expanded on my posts and made them longer, and just enough to plant the seed to people that, hey, actually, I would rather now be my age than 25, because I have this whole foundation of knowledge, experience, confidence to build on, rather than when I was 25, I was thinking about how shy I was. And I had trouble talking to my patients because I considered them strangers. So I'm so much in a better place now than I was when I was younger. And that's why I want to write this book. You can live your best life at any age. It's just out there. Go out and grab it.
So let's take a dive into your Instagram, some of the posts, some of the fodder for your ebook, if you will. There was a post, The Journey to My First Beauty Pageant, where one of the topics you did talk about was ageism. And the line is, you can't say I'm a late bloomer, or you can say I'm a late bloomer, or you can say I'm not letting a few things around. Really, I know how to read.
I know you do.
I'm not letting a few times around the sun and a few wrinkles stop me. Why do you think that ageism is so prevalent? I get why in LA, but just in general in the United States, why do you think it's there?
It's the opposite in the rest of the world, because age and wisdom is revered and respected in so many cultures. In our culture, it's very much a youth culture, and it's more about the outside than the inside. And it's a huge struggle, because I mean, I'm struggling with it, even though I'm pro-aging. I have to struggle with people looking at me and saying, oh God, she's got bags in her eyes, she's got some wrinkles, I'm getting older. But as I get older and there's degradation on the outside, the inside of me is getting better. So you become more beautiful on the inside than the outside, but people don't look inside. It very much is, how does she look? Younger girls who are prettier and younger are being chosen over me for different events and whatnot. Even though I have so much more to give. I think about when I was a doctor, when I was 25 compared to now. I've seen everything hundreds, thousands of times, and my ability to make a decision, to heal a patient, to take care of them is light years ahead of what I knew before. But and women are judged more harshly than men in the media, on social media, movies, jobs. It's tough. I was going to announce my age this year on social media. My web presence team said, Elise, you need to keep some mystery. So I'm cool with that. but I could stand, I'm going to tell you right now, I could stand to lose some of my collaborations and sponsors if they knew how old I was. It's just crazy. And it's just this subconscious thing. Well, we don't want a woman who's over blank, blank, blank. Right. And I'm trying to change that and showing we have so much to offer. John, you're with me.
So why do you think, and I think I know the answer, but I'm curious from a woman's perspective, why do you think women are judged more harshly than men?
Because women are judged overall for our beauty. And it's that flawless, that picture of us being flawless with our skin and, youth, because it may go back to subconsciousness. We only have so many childbearing years. So when you choose your bride, you want someone who looks young and healthy, and fertile. Maybe it's that.
There's a comedian, Ron White. He has an album called You Can't Fix Stupid.
What is it called?
You Can't Fix Stupid.
Oh, you can't fix stupid.
as you age, if you take care of yourself, or you can get surgery, but the point of it is, and I tell my class, I teach a class at Pepperdine, I tell my students, and I say, I'm only talking to you guys, marry smart, smart lass, that will carry you through, because marry smart.
I love that.
Beauty will fade, just inevitably, but smart doesn't. So anyway,
Wow. Thank you. Okay. So I need that because I'm not married. Because I'm older. So please marry smart.
yeah, no, I mean, the guys that don't, and there are a lot of them that don't, regret it. But that's a whole different topic. Okay, so you there's a post about break the glass ceiling of ageism. So we're gonna stay on top. Where you write, aging is actually a beautiful thing. Appreciate the journey. What advice would you give to people who are in the midst of the journey to help appreciate it?
There's so much to look forward to. Think about how much more settled you are emotionally, financially. There's less uncertainty. You know who you are. Hopefully, by this time, you're comfortable in your own skin. So that's part of the journey. And then you can still do all the things you did before, but you have this much stronger internal, emotional, spiritual base. So that's why I'm saying enjoy the journey and don't fear aging. It's a part of life. Why do you fear something that you're going to go through? It's like when people, even my son will sometimes say, "Oh, mom, you're so old fashioned," or "You're old." Well, everybody hopes they get old one day. So why dislike or discriminate against something that you're going to become? Why not look at the people who have gotten there already and say, I want to be like him. I want to be like her. I'm going to work towards that because I'm not going to just sit down on my couch for the rest of my life and think life and just let life pass you by, because it will. If you don't get off your butt and get going, boxing is good, of course, but you don't have to box. You could do podcasts.
People got in the habit of just sitting on the couch and watching Netflix.
Yeah.
COVID. Okay, you have another on the same topic, but there's a post called "How to Live Your Best Life at Any Age." Aging gracefully isn't about looking like a 20, 30, or even 40-year-old. It's really about living your best life. We've talked about some of the things you can do, but what are some of the things if somebody's waking up and they're listening to this and say they are 25 and they have their life ahead of them, what would you tell your 25-year-old self about living your best life as you get older?
Well, first of all, what you do, how you live your life at 25 is going to determine how you live your life when you're 65. So every minute, every day counts. That's for sure. And to find what you want to do and go after it step by step. And even if you say, "Oh my gosh, that goal is so far off in the future," I didn't get here overnight. This was 30 years of practice. This was 4 degrees later. Even the pageant, all the work I have to put in. I'm not just going to walk out on that stage, because if I do, trust me, I'm going to fall down. I am practicing. I should have brought the shoes to show you. Oh my God, they're like these hooker shoes. They're so tall. But you have to put in the work, but make the work fun and have goals. Set goals and start working towards them.
There's another post, and this is all kind of weaving together, so I can see how the ebook is going to come off well. There's a post, "Don't let your fear limit you." The fear of failure being the number one reason people don't do things. How do you push past that?
Realizing it's in your mind, for sure. I know so many people who don't do things because, "Oh, I'm too old," or, "Oh, I can't do that." Yes, you can. We're all human beings. We have similar bodies and our makeup is the same inside. It depends on what you choose to do. So it's a choice rather than a limitation. So once you get rid of that mental roadblock, and you just, and take baby steps towards it. Let me take a simple example. A lot of my friends see my posts and go, oh my gosh, Elise, you're so fit, you're so thin. I haven't worked out in years and I'm always tired, or I have diabetes, I have high blood pressure. Well, that's under your control. You can start just by walking. Walking is great for your body. You can start by drinking more water, eating healthy, sleeping more. It's step by step. And then you start noticing this transformation in your body. And that's what keeps me going. Like I've been doing intermittent fasting since December because I was this close to being diabetes. And my doctor said, Elise, I hate telling you this because you eat right, you work out. She goes, but you're fighting up against your age and DNA now. So I had to make a huge change in my life. And I've lost 14 pounds. I've got my college body back. I've got a nice hourglass figure. No surgery. That's just me. And you have to, if you want it, you have to make the changes. It just doesn't come to you.
I was going to ask this later, but you mentioned intermittent fasting. You recommend, I believe, 12 to 16 hours. How often a month do you do that?
Every day. I only eat between 1 and 7 p.m. every day. Your body is not intended. We're not designed to eat every 2 hours. I don't know where that came from. I bought into that. I used to eat every 2 hours, and I ate for comfort. I ate for stress. I ate because of boredom. Now I'm so used to it now, I just don't do it. It's so much better if you don't have all this insulin and sugar and food floating in your body. So what your body does is it starts eating up all the dead cells, all the old cells. So it's not only for losing weight, for decreasing, I'm not even in the diabetic range anymore. My blood sugar level plummeted. And it doesn't cost any money. You just have to eat right and don't eat so many hours a day. But it helps, it's called autophagy, and it helps you to age better. So I use also, I already did it once. I'm about to do it again before the pageant. It's called Prolon, and it's a 5-day fast. It's fast mimicking diet. And so I use that to like change my mindset to not want food all the time. And it's approved by the National Institute of Health, the Prolon diet, and the National Institute of Aging. $36 million of research, 20 years in the making, and it works. So hit me up if you guys want to hear about it, but it's so great. So, one thing about being an influencer is so much fun. I get to try out these really cool products, services that I've never heard of before. And because I'm health and wellness, it just keeps adding to my whole arsenal of tools that I can use to stay healthy. And that's what I share with my followers.
So there's a post, what's more important, looking good or feeling good? You know the old adage, it's better to look good than feel good.
Who said that?
I think it was Billy Crystal. I think it was a Billy Crystal character.
Really? Billy Crystal said, oh, his character said that?
It was one of the Saturday Night Live characters. But I mean, I don't agree with that. And clearly you don't agree with that. But there's a correlation I'd like you to talk about, that once you feel good, you start to look better. So it's really a weird kind of correlation, but it's there.
Your inner health and inner happiness shows on the outside. So you can put on tons of makeup, have plastic surgery, wear beautiful clothes, but if you're not healthy, you're not going to look so great. I mean, healthy is beautiful. So, and think about this year. It doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how much money you have. We were all, we were all in this together with COVID and the pandemic and the shutdown. So if you're not healthy, you have nothing. Health is everything. When I don't feel good, I mean, a supermodel, when they're sick in bed, do you think they're gonna feel beautiful? Doesn't matter. You need to feel good. You need your health first. And that's why I dedicated my life to this, to taking care of my patients, empowering them to live better lives.
One more question on exercise. Well, maybe more than one. But how often, how long each day do you exercise?
I work out at least 30 to 60 minutes, and then I'm doing things during the day too. So I fit it in.
Okay, we
I
know
have
you
a whole gym in my house too.
know you box. What else do you do for exercise?
I play tennis once a week with the girls. I lift weights probably 3 times a week. I'm a black diamond skier. So during ski season, you'll see my son and I swishing down the slopes. I ride horses. I golf. My son is starting to golf in tournaments at the ripe old age of 12. So I'm out there with him. I pretend to golf though. I can't say I'm a golfer. I pretend.
Golf is one of those
And
things where you have to do a lot to be really good.
oh my gosh, it's the hardest sport I've ever done. And I usually can pick up a sport. It's hard. We do knife throwing. We love to do that. I have a whip. I crack a whip. So, I mean, I make it fun. You name it, I do it.
Where are you from originally?
Pardon me?
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Chicago.
Chicago. Did you from the city proper or?
Yeah. Yeah. I was born in the northern part of Chicago
How
near
did a
Evanston.
city girl start cracking a whip and throwing knives?
I'm a total Tom girl. I was a daddy's girl growing up. And, we're Vietnamese, Chinese. So coming from Vietnam, everybody knows how to shoot a gun. So, I mean, I was shooting a gun when I was like 10, rifles where it would just kick me back. And I hung out with my dad. We would go on 26-mile bike rides when I was in high school. And my dad is a double black diamond skier and he's in his 80s. So I love it. I don't know why. It's just so it's a good thing I'm a boy mom. I have a son because then we can go out and hang out and roughhouse together.
I'm going to do a total transition. You are the founder and CEO of Nearsight Vision. Excuse me, Nearsight. Tell me about the company.
It stemmed from, this is kind of an age-related topic, from hearing my patients complain bitterly for decades that they hated their reading glasses. Because, I'm in Hollywood and Beverly Hills. That's where my practice is at. So it's very much about looking young and convenience, and they just can't be bothered. And when you get to the age where you need reading glasses, it's such a hassle to have to carry them with you, look for them, you can't find them. And then worse yet, this is the kiss of death, is your age, your eyes don't lie about your age. So you can have some beautiful actor there, and they're in a restaurant. As soon as they can't read that menu and they need to sheepishly put on their reading glasses, it's all over. So I had an actor who actually came to me and he said, girls stop looking at me when I put my reading glasses on. You need to invent something. So I did. I invented a replacement to reading glasses. And it's not just a reiteration of a different style of reading glasses or a thin reading glasses. It's a lens that sits on your phone case that allows you to see on and off your phone without reading glasses. And it's not only just for once you reach your 40s and you lose the ability to read. It's also for when you're young and you're farsighted and you need reading glasses. So it's cool. I'm going to make it fashionable, and we're doing our product testing right now, but it's just to make it easier because people don't sit around at their desk and just read with reading glasses anymore. They're using their phone when they're in Starbucks or they're waiting in line, they're in an elevator. And so this will always be there when you need it. Nobody needs to know your age, and it works. So we're going to launch this year.
As somebody who's worn glasses since second grade, I don't even think about it. It's just like,
right. Well, yours is full time, but I'm talking about the people who don't need glasses for far away. Yeah.
And you're launching a new show on YouTube. Tell us about that.
So I am an integrative optometrist and a clinical homeopath. Plus, as you saw from my background, I'm into fitness, lifestyle, eating well, fashion. So what better title for my show than More Than Meets the Eye? Because I'm an optometrist by training, but I am absolutely more than meets the eye. I have a co-host, Dr. Mark Eltis from Toronto. So we're going to help empower our followers, and we're going to be the how to age gracefully, live a healthy lifestyle. And that's what we're going to do is kind of a manual and a roadmap, and we'll take questions. We'll also do coaching sessions. And I believe that wisdom is a continuum. And after 33 years in practice, I know a heck of a lot. And I can still learn a lot too, but I have a lot that I can share.
So one final question. Where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, okay. On Instagram, my handle is Hollywood Eyes, HOLLYWOODEYES. Thanks for asking. I'll be announcing my book release, my ebook release on YouTube right now. My page is Hollywood Eyes, Dr. Elise Brisco. And I also I'm on Facebook. I just started a Facebook page under Hollywood Eyes, Dr. Elise Brisco. And Nearsight is www.nearsight.com. So you can find me there too.
I lied. I had one final question.
Okay, final.
Of course I would do that. You said it, and I promptly forgot it. So I did have just one last question.
No.
No, it was something you said in your answer. I was going to follow up. But thank you for being on the show. I am going to stop the recording and I'll come back.
I'm so appreciative. Thank you, John, for having me.
That's it for this time. If you enjoyed our podcast, please write a review on iTunes and tell your friends to subscribe. If you have any questions about influencers or suggestions for future episodes, email them to John at Pfeiffer@pfeifferlaw.com. Thank you for listening.